Hi guys, we are on page 12. We are going to go through the extra help video practice at the top of this page for 1.3.1. I know the last video was like 11 minutes long, and so this is only one example, so it'll be a little bit shorter. So we are asked to solve the following equation for r. So we need to make sure that we get r all by itself on one side alone so we can solve it. So for this, I notice that there are parentheses, so I'm going to start by distributing my -3 to both in the parentheses. So -3 times a +1 is -3, and -3 times a +6r is -18r. On the right-hand side, there's no parentheses, so I'm just going to bring down what I have so that I can do the next step. Now I can get either all my variables together first or all my constants together first. In the last video, I moved my variables first, so for this one, I'm going to move my constants first, just to show you that we can do that as well. I'm going to move this -3 onto the right. Because it is a -3, I'm going to do the opposite and do a +3. So I'm going to add 3 here so that these will cancel, and add 3 onto the right side. My 3's will disappear, and I'm left with this -18r. We want to make sure that we keep track of that minus sign because it is connected to the 18. Then 14 plus 3 is 17. I still have that minus r. To get my variables together, I'm going to add r onto both sides. Now for this r, there's not a number in front of it. If that happens, it is an invisible 1. So I'm adding a +1r onto this. So -18r plus a +1r, so -18 plus 1 is -17r. And then on the right-hand side, I have a +17. To get r by itself, I need to divide because this minus sign is connected to the 17. This is a -17 and it's being multiplied to my variable. So I need to divide both sides by -17. So I have r equals +17 divided by -17. You can type that in your calculator. And we get -1. And I have r by itself. If I felt unsure about it, I could check my work. So I'm going to do that quickly on the side. So we're going to check our work here. So I'm going to rewrite this, and then I'm going to rewrite it a second time, but then every time there's a variable, I'm going to plug in what I think my answer is, which is -1. So inside parentheses, I'm going to put -1 equals 14 minus, this is tricky because it's minus r, and r is -1. So I should have minus a negative there. For this, I am just going to type the two different sides into my calculator. So I have -3 and then parentheses, 1 plus 6, more parentheses, -1, and then I need to make sure that I do 2 parentheses to close. And I get +15. So I'm going to write that down. And then I'm going to do the right-hand side. So 14 minus, and then parentheses, -1, and I get +15. So then I want to check, are they the same? Yes, they are. So I know for sure that I solved it correctly, and -1 is the correct answer for r.